Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome again. I hope we had an amazing weekend. So you're welcome from Kenya, from Ghana, from Nigeria, from Cameroon, from Uganda, from Seychelles, from Cape Verde, Sao Tome and Principe. You're all welcome to another Toe Way series. I'm very sure that you've learned a lot from the last two sessions, and you're going to the learnings from those sessions. You're going to apply them to your business as you launch your business or as you grow your existing business. Again, my name is Ibuko Durinde. I'm the Entrepreneurship Program Manager. And joining me today is Madam Angela Aneke. I know she's no longer a visitor to everyone. She's a familiar face now. So she's going to be taking series 3 of the Toe Way. And we also have Foko Rollins, who is going to be supporting with French, and Nadia, who's going to be supporting with Portuguese. So please, let's ensure our internet is working well so we can, get all the learnings from today's session. And also pay attention. She's going to be asking questions. It has to be engaging so you can get a lot of learnings and impact from the session. So I'll hand over to Foko and then to Nadia to translate, and then we'll hand over to Madam Angela to kickstart the session. Thank you, everyone. Over to you, Foko. Thank you.
Bienvenue une fois de plus à tout le monde et vous êtes la bienvenue dans cette session. Nous allons aujourd'hui vous entretenir sur la série 3 de la façon de faire de Tony et nous aimerions que vous soyez comme d'habitude très interactifs, posez vos questions, faites vos remarques en ligne et puis nous allons transcrire. N'oubliez pas surtout de remplir la fiche de présence. Merci. Over to you, Nadia.
Thanks, Foko. Boa tarde a todos, bem-vindos a mais uma sessão de lições do Sr. Tony Alimelu, mais uma vez conduzida pela Madame Angela. Não se esqueçam de assinar a lista de presença e sejam atentos que a sessão é interativa, haverá muitas questões, participem. Obrigada. Over to you, Madame Angela.
Thank you, Ibuku, Foko, and Nadia, and good afternoon, entrepreneurs. I join Ibuku in welcoming you to today's session. And I'm going to start by, we learned a lot last week about TOE's business values. And I'm going to, Ibuku referred to the fact that I try to make it interactive, ask a lot of questions. So I'm going to start with a question. What do you guys remember from last week? What are your thoughts? I'm sure you've had a lot of time to reflect over the 2 webinars we had last week. So tell me your thoughts. What are your thoughts on last week's session? What do you remember about last week? So let's start with a recap.
OK, nous allons commencer par un récapitulatif de la semaine passée. Quels sont vos avis sur la dernière session? Quelles sont vos pensées? Qu'est-ce que vous pouvez partager avec nous concernant la dernière session? What you, Nadia?
Thanks, Foko. Então, como disse, a senhora Angela gosta de sessão bastante interativa com participação. Por isso, ela começa com uma questão. O que é que vos ficou retido da semana passada? Na semana passada houve 2 sessões. O que é que ficou confuso? Vamos começar com essa revisão. Respondam no chat, no comentário do YouTube. Obrigado.
Okay, thank you, Foko. So I'm getting a few comments. So someone, Omoni something is saying is recap or learning from the last 2 sessions is ideas can come from anyone and anywhere. Alabo Emanuela says integrity in business. Then there's another one here from Nukutula. She also says an idea can come from anywhere and anyone. Asa Clouding is saying, I remember we learned on the importance of leveraging social media in our businesses. Inaji Madoikwe is saying we must build businesses that would outlive us. Black Blue SW is saying challenges with hiring the right staff, same work ethic as you. Another person, Eze Marian, is saying, I learned that while running your business, you should listen to the opinions of everyone because great ideas can come from anyone. Diozo is saying business ideas come out of challenges. I learned that working with the right team is important in achieving the organization's goal and hire smart. Angel Marian is saying strategies on how to hire professional staff. Faye Godwin, we talked about business. We talked about our business and how we're able to scale through our business due to the COVID-19. Fred, there are a lot of comments. Fred Atabong says, be intentional, stay consistent, and produce results. Another person here is saying that we should always, I learned that we should always think about the future of our business. First, good branding is very important. Ruth Oluchi George, branding is key in running a profitable business. Oniya Olaya is saying, I remember we spoke about institutionalization for our business. Oluremi says, learn that technology revolves around everything. Umiozo Jude, reward performance to get the value from staff. Jude is also saying, we learn to be diligent in hard work. Kenielu Jeanette, consistency is key. Redemptor is saying, hire right, hire wisely, hire smart. Big Tech Carol is saying, Big Tech Carol, building a sustainable business that would outlive us through proper succession plan. Kanana Moremi says, I learned the importance of finding the right employees for your business, those who can build into the vision of your business. So there are a lot of comments coming in. Hiring the right human resource, which is far from the family and those who don't buy your business vision. Hiring the right staff and developing a business that will last. Hire wisely. The business of the 21st century centers around innovation and creativity. So those are the comments that have come in, and more people are still typing.
I'm really impressed with the participants. A lot of memory recall. They can remember a lot of salient points. So I'm very, very impressed with the participants. Well done, everyone. Foko and Nadia, any feedback from your participants from the French and the Portuguese community?
From now, I don't have access to comment on YouTube, but I can just translate what Ibukun said, if you allow it.
Go ahead, please.
OK. Donc, oui, nous avons comme retour des entrepreneurs, certains qui ont dit ce qu'ils ont retenu la semaine passée, c'est l'idée action. Donc, l'idée peut venir de n'importe où, de n'importe qui. Donc, on doit tenir compte de la vie de tout le monde pendant une réunion. D'autres ont retenu qu'ils ont compris que le recrutement est important et qu'il est important de recruter les personnes qui partagent la vision qu'on a. Et d'autres aussi ont dit c'est important de recruter tout le monde, même les membres de la famille. Mais si on recrute un membre de la famille, il faut le traiter comme tous les autres employés et non comme un membre de la famille. D'autres aussi ont dit, ils ont retenu ce qu'on appelle le plan de succession, qu'il est important dans une entreprise de prévoir comment la carrière de certaines personnes doit progresser afin de permettre que la société puisse vivre pour longtemps. Donc, d'autres ont dit, ils ont apprécié le fait que Tony explique comment est-ce qu'on bâtit une entreprise qui doit être durable et pérenne. Donc, je vais m'arrêter là pour le moment. Over to you, Nadia.
Thanks, Foko. Madam Angela, answering to your question, there were no many comments in Portuguese, but they mentioned basically what was said by the others, and also they were impressed by the Mr. Tony trajectory. So it's like the points to take from the comments. Okay, I'll give a quick recap to them on what was given in English. Ok, então, basicamente o que foi partilhado por vossos colegas anglófonos e que aqui foi falado pela Ibukun é que das lições que ficaram é que o nosso negócio deve viver após nós. os desafios na contratação da pessoa certa. O que também foi retido por outros é a importância do uso da mídia social para o negócio. Também ficou retido que as ideias podem vir de qualquer lugar, de qualquer pessoa. Portanto, prestar atenção e ouvir sempre, escutar sempre com um ouvido de entender o que os outros têm a contribuir. Enfim, basicamente esses são os comentários que os vossos colegas deram sobre o que se passou na semana passada. Madam Angela, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you both. Thank you, Foko and Nadia, and also thank you, Bukun, for sharing those comments. So today we're going to be learning some more business values. A lot of them center around entrepreneurship. So I'll just share my screen. So while being away for the weekend, guess one has forgotten how to share the screen. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. So let's get started. So the first set of business values we're going to be talking about today, precision and rigor. And Thierry says, remember last week I said, one will always share some quotes from Thierry about the business value. We'll share, what the literature says about that particular business value, and then food for thought, and give an example where we can, okay, of the particular business value. So precision and rigor, this is all going to help you execute your business plans more effectively. So Thierry says, rigorously translate your dreams to reality, rigorously. Build milestones into your dream and check your milestones from time to time. As you achieve milestones, it spurs you on to achieving the next milestone. So this is so important. And then he says, passion is key. Passion is the key that oils everything we do. If you're passionate, it is infectious. So, what does the literature say? What does the English dictionary, the Merriam-Webster dictionary says? Precision, the quality or state of being exact. So exactness, so as we pursue our dreams, as we come up with our goals, we need to be exact. And, borrowing Thierry's words, rigorously translate your dreams to reality. What does it mean to exert rigor? The quality or state of being very exact. So we see the same word again, precision and rigor have the same sort of words, being exact, being careful or strict. Rigor, the quality of being extremely thorough and careful. So as we come up with our business plans, precision and rigor are key, and I'm sure all of us know that, okay, so Thierry says, translate your dreams to reality. Businesses start with dreams and succeed through execution. So like we said earlier, this is all, today's session is going to be a lot of business values that help us to be more execution oriented. And so we all know about SMART goals, being specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. So let me pause here and let me ask for examples of some of the goals that you guys have set for yourselves and describe them as specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, time-bound. Let's talk about SMART goals. Because remember, the first line says businesses start with dreams and succeed through execution of goals and plans. And Thierry says, rigorously translate your dreams to, he says, build milestones into your dream and check your milestones from time to time. So the whole concept of goals, and being precise about our goals I would like to, remember the two definitions for precision and rigor centered around the word exact. So I'd like to hear from everyone about your SMART goals. Coco, Nadia, whoever wants to take this.
OK. Donc, aujourd'hui, nous allons commencer avec, comme valeur d'affaires de Tony, la précision et la rigorosité. Donc, Tony nous dit, la rigorosité permet de réaliser le rêve. Et il demande de bâtir tout ce qu'on fait étape par étape et les étapes importantes. Et le fait de suivre de temps en temps les différentes étapes permettent effectivement d'atteindre l'ultime étape, donc de pouvoir avancer. Il dit la passion est la clé. Et la passion est cette clé-là qui permet de fluidifier ce que vous êtes en train de faire. Et quand vous êtes passionné, c'est vraiment contagieux. C'est contagieux et c'est passionnant. En termes d'explication, on va se rendre compte que le mot précision et le mot rigueur appellent à l'exactitude. Sauf que la rigorosité met à cela l'attention et le fait d'être vraiment strict. Donc, vous devez être précis et rigoureux dans ce que vous faites, que ce soit au niveau de votre business plan, que ce soit au niveau de vos objectifs. Et on l'a dit, les objectifs doivent être smart, spécifiques, mesurables, atteignables, réalistes et inclus dans le temps. Maintenant, on vous demande, partagez-nous quelques-uns de vos objectifs qui sont vraiment smart. Donc, faites vos commentaires dans le chat box et puis on va lire. Merci. Over to you, Nadia.
Thanks, Foucault. Ok, então, a primeira lição que nós vamos olhar para hoje é sobre a precisão e a rigorosidade. O Sr. Tony diz que a precisão permite a realização dos sonhos e a rigorosidade faz com que os sonhos sejam transferidos para a realidade exatamente conforme nós sonhamos. Ou seja, se você tem um sonho, tente estabelecer metas, criar metas ao teu sonho e ir levando a realidade aos poucos. Dessa forma, nós vamos agora falar de metas específicas. E a senhora Ângela está a pedir exemplos, que vocês escrevam ali exemplos de metas que vocês prepararam para o vosso negócio, mas metas que sejam smart. Nós já falamos aqui de objetivos smart, metas smart. O que smart quer dizer que é específico, que é mesurável, que é atingível, que é realístico e que tem uma componente do tempo associado. Portanto, deem exemplos dessas metas no chat, tá? Que vocês atingiram ou que vocês marcaram para os vossos negócios. Obrigada. Madame Angela, over to you.
Okay.
Thank you. Do you want to give us some examples?
Thank you. Yes, so there's some examples here or the goals they're trying to achieve for their business. So the Book Map Nigeria is saying the goal is to distribute 10,000 books to 5,000 homes globally by the end of 2023. Kimang Abel says to obtain funds and start my business by January 2024. Magba Beola Oluremi says to increase my business market share from 0.03% to 0.1% in my community. Christiana Inajimadwekwe says, my goal is to produce 100,000 tubers of yam by 2028. Gabriel Ahmed, within the first 3 years of my business, I want to have another branch or another outlet. Angel Miriam says, I want to expand to 2 other locations within the state in 2 years. Yusuf Sanusi, I intend to increase the awareness of people in my community of therapeutic diet and nutrition counseling by 10% by the end of 2024. Mustafa Muntari, by the end of the year, I will increase monthly sales by 20% through targeted digital marketing campaigns and improved customer engagement strategies. There's another one, Gift Komilobon, to launch my mental health app, MVP, in the next 6 months. Faye Godwin, okay, so she said, oh, okay, she's just telling us it's not a smart goal. So Monday Ayodele says to reach the international market in the next 5 years. Ariel says to ensure that I provide the best quality coffee affordable for all people in Uganda. Olufunke Oyeniro to build an household name in food miling within the space of 6 months. King Folake Oguyemi to achieve a profit margin of 40% by the end of 2024. Constance to attract and onboard 5,000 new taskers within 6 months. Mavina Chinasa, I will increase production by 60% in order to reduce the rate of hair loss issues among females in my locality by 3% in 2024. Josephine, lavender reusable pads. My smart goal is to see the rate of girls dropping out of school because of pads to reduce by 25%. Asa Clouding, I have set a goal in my pig farm to ensure I fatten and commercialize 45 mature pigs by April 2024, using healthy and feed mixtures that will result to pork with low fats. Ronald, by the end of 2024, I will be the main supplier of pure honey in supermarkets in my country and will have a monthly sales of at least 5,000 kilograms. Oluremi, okay, I've mentioned Oluremi's. There are more?
Great.
Okay,
Great.
okay, so there are a lot more,
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
thank you, ma'am.
I mean, really, really good, smart goals, actually, very specific, measurable. I believe, they're attainable for you, they're realistic. And I like the fact that they're all time bound. I heard someone say something about increasing awareness. I would just like to say that maybe you want to define what awareness, how you would measure awareness. So you may just want to tweak your goal a bit more to be more specific, to be more measurable in terms of how you measure awareness. Okay, fantastic. Foko and Nadia, do you have any feedback on your side, your community?
Okay, yes, I have some feedback from Messi Mbele. Un autre exemple en parlant d'objectif, je veux faire un chiffre d'affaires de 2 millions au mois de septembre. Cela ne doit pas être juste dans la tête, ça doit être marqué quelque part afin de mesurer au fur et à mesure. That is Messi Bele. I also have a feedback from, let me check, from Balde. No, it's not that. Excuse me, let me check. Okay, from Eric Manga.
Are you going to translate what they've said to us?
I want to read it. You want me to read in French? It is in French.
Yes, but translate it to us, please.
OK. Mon objectif principal dans mon entreprise de brasserie est d'avoir un produit boisson viable respectant les normes sur le marché camerounais. Okay, Eric Manga is saying that his main aim is just to have good juice to put in the market, to access to the Cameroonian market, because his business is a brewery. We also have another person who is.
Has he defined it by time and has he defined his goal by time and by metric?
No. We also have Emery Yasumbu, augmenter de 25% les ventes de nos saucisses et poulets de chair fumés dans nos 3 zones d'activité d'ici l'année 3. Here, he gives us a time. Upgrade on 25% the sales of his company by an area and in 3 years. This is specific.
Very good.
Yes,
okay.
We also have Mark Johnson. Le groupe WhatsApp qui devrait, okay, no, it is a complaint, it's not an objective. Okay, let's go to Nadia, please.
A complaint about what?
That WhatsApp group was not created.
The WhatsApp group for?
I don't understand. They were supposed to create WhatsApp group for them.
Okay, Ibuku?
Oh, so we're not. Okay, so we're not supposed to create WhatsApp groups. So WhatsApp groups now are created for those that are going to be selected to receive $5,000. So those are the people that we create WhatsApp groups. So it's easy to engage, share information, get updates on their payments, etc. So
Okay.
I'm sure this person got the information wrong.
Okay, you may want to send out some communication on that. Okay,
Okay.
so Nadia, any comments from you, Nadia?
Yes, there is only one, which is not a SMART goal. Constantino Giaggio, he says his goal is to help entrepreneurs to sell their products and service. So that's it. That's what he wrote down. There is no time. No, there's no. It's not specific. It's not achievable, or well, it's not measurable. I don't know if it's achievable.
Okay. So let's learn from the Toe Way, and then also let's also remember that Toe says build milestones. So as we set our goals, let's also build milestones. So if, for instance, I remember someone said something about I think going into the international market in 5 years. So maybe you want to set a goal for year 1, a goal for year 2, a goal for year 3, etc., so that you can celebrate. Because Thierry says, as you achieve these milestones, it spurs you on to achieving the next milestone. So if you wait till 5 years, you may be discouraged if you don't set some small, shorter term goals for yourself. So that's what I wanted to share. So moving on, thank you everyone. Very, very good feedback. So let's move on to the the next slide, which says basically that successful companies, and this is still from the literature, the successful companies or leaders pursue execution as a science with a conscious, systematic, and disciplined rigor. Again, just focusing on rigor, and just to remind us about the effective, success is effective execution, and remind us of some of the things we learned last time. Set your goals, convert your vision or mission statement into clear, simple, precise, and measurable goals. But I'm preaching to the choir here because all of you have done that. Determine how to reach your goals, come up with your strategy, come up with your plans for implementation, choose your people who can help you get things done and reward them for it, and monitor your results. Okay, build a performance culture, and that's continuing with the literature, what the literature says. Apply hard problem-solving rigor to intangibles, get hard facts, probe root causes, dive deep, investigate, conduct deep analysis, make sure that, as you're executing your plan, executing your strategy, you're diving deep, you're getting all the facts and refining your plan, etc., as you go along. Thierry says, I would like Hess Holdings to be an organization that is known for execution, one that makes things happen. So you also, as you build your organization, you want to build your organization as, that it may be known for execution, an organization that makes things happen. Says, our people understand that a dream will remain a dream unless it is accompanied by action. So that's it on rigor and what was the second? And precision, rigor and precision. So let me let Nadia and Foko translate, and then we'll go into the next set of business values. Go on, please.
Ok, donc une petite précision en disant que quand vous faites des objectifs SMART, vous devez généralement mettre les étapes et ne pas dire je vais être telle chose dans 5 ans. Il faut mettre des petites étapes, peut-être par trimestre ou par semestre, afin que ce soit plus vivable. Donc, le succès des compagnies et des leaders est basé sur l'exécution, sur la science de faire qu'on soit conscient, systématique et discipliné, bref, la rigueur. Ça, vous devez le savoir. La vision et la stratégie ne doivent pas rester uniquement sur le papier. Il faut les convertir en stratégie. C'est la clé pour qu'un objectif soit exécutable. Et on a quelques principes, comme par exemple avoir des objectifs clairs, déterminer comment les atteindre, mettre en place une stratégie, impliquer tout un système opérationnel pour traduire toutes les idées en action et passer à la mise en œuvre, choisir les personnes indiquées et les récompenser en fonction des résultats, et surtout mettre en place un système de suivi et évaluation des résultats. Donc, bâtir aussi une culture de la performance, ça c'est un élément clé et c'est un avantage comparatif lorsque c'est fait. Et la stratégie peut être copiée et permettre d'avoir de bonnes performances en termes de culture. Il faut aussi apprendre à avoir une bonne culture de la performance au sein d'une entreprise. Donc, comme petit mot de Tony, il aimerait que Hairholding soit une organisation que les gens vont retenir que ça servait à l'exécution. C'est-à-dire, il aime faire que les choses arrivent telles que cela a été prévu. Voilà l'image qu'il voudrait qu'on garde de Hairholding. Et il dit, les gens doivent savoir qu'on ne doit pas seulement rester dans le rêve. Tant qu'on ne passe pas à l'action, vraiment, le rêve reste rêve. Over to you, Nadia.
Thanks, Foucault. Então, de novo, falando sobre a rigorosidade, a precisão e a rigorosidade. Lembrem sempre que ao estabelecer as vossas metas, para tirar os vossos sonhos para a realidade, traduzir o vosso sonho para a realidade, façam metas curtas, não façam metas longas. Alguns exemplos foram dados até 5 anos. Façam metas de 1 ano, 6 meses, por aí, prazos mais curtos. Esse é um dos conselhos do senhor Tony. A outra coisa importante aqui é dizer que aplica sempre a rigorosidade em tudo que vocês fazem no vosso negócio, nos vossos trabalhos, ok? E lembrem-se que há cinco níveis de influência bastante importante para um líder ter sucesso, ok? Cria um modelo, estabeleça um propósito, adquira as habilidades necessárias, aplica mecanismos de reforço se for necessário, e faça com que os vossos funcionários sintam-se parte da coisa, sintam a coisa como se fosse delas também. Aqui uma frase a levar, um conselho do senhor Tony, ele diz que, no caso da empresa dele, que as pessoas, os colaboradores dele entendem que o sonho continuará a ser sempre sonho, a não ser que seja acompanhado de ações. Portanto, como se diz, enquanto uns sonham, os outros vão executando, mas sempre aplicando a precisão e a rigorosidade. Obrigada. Madam Anja, over to you.
Thank you very much, Foucault and Nadia. So moving on, the next set of business values we're going to be looking at are follow-through and professionalism. So Thierry says, the ability to see things through has always been a challenge for companies. Focus on outcomes. Says there's a thin line between delegation and abdication. And we'll talk a little bit more about delegation and abdication on Thursday when we have the last session. So what does the dictionary say about following through? To press on in an activity or process, especially to a conclusion. Professionalism, the conduct, aims, or qualities that characterize or mark a profession or professional person. The skill, good judgment, and polite behavior that is expected from a person who is trained to do a job well. The word execution, the dictionary goes, in terms of literature, the word execution comes from the Latin term meaning to follow through. Did we know that? So it says the term execution originated with the Romans, who were masters in executing plans, tactics, and strategies. At the peak of the Roman Empire, they were unrivaled in the discipline and rigor with which they executed their plans. So again, this whole word of rigor, exactness, following through, execution, all key to helping you guys execute your business plans. As you come up with your so Thierry talked about, you come up with your goals, you should also come up with your plans, your strategies. So, and we've talked about action plan. Remember last week when we talked about meetings, we talked about action plans. Who, what, when, who does what, when, so as you say to yourself, okay, I'm going to expand my business to the international market in 5 years. Who's going to do what, when? So you need to actually be that granular. in terms of ensuring that you execute your plan going on, ensure your action plan. This is now about meetings, just summarizing what we learned last week, so I won't even go into detail there. But following through, you're going to be meeting suppliers, you're going to be meeting buyers, you're going to be meeting, people who you can collaborate with, and the whole idea is you need to follow up on your contacts and your networks. And there are just ways to do so. Send them a quick mail, link them up on LinkedIn, maybe send them a message on their birthday, set up a one-on-one meeting, Google their name to find out more about them, connect to them, like I said, on LinkedIn or any other social media platform. Send an email within 48 hours, of meeting them. So this is how, you begin to build your contacts and your networks, because you're not going to be able to do your business without a community, without your suppliers and without your buyers. And Thierry says, I want us to build a database of contacts that we can mine. So you build your database from all these people you meet, make sure you follow through on the contacts. So moving on. So translate, please, for us, Foko and Nadia.
OK. Nos prochaines valeurs, c'est le suivi des avancements et le professionnalisme. Donc, Tony dit, la capacité de voir les choses être faites dans l'avancement est toujours un challenge pour les entreprises. Il faut être focalisé sur les résultats. Donc, il y a une mince ligne entre la délégation et l'abdication. Donc, c'est un thème sur lequel on reviendra jeudi prochain lors de la dernière session de ce Master Series. Donc, le dictionnaire nous dit le suivi de l'avancement, c'est le fait de démarrer une activité et de suivre très particulièrement le process jusqu'à la conclusion. Et le professionnalisme, c'est le fait de conduire une opération, mettre en place des objectifs, avoir de la qualité dans les caractères, bref, avoir des personnes qui ont des compétences et faire un bon jugement sur les croyances attendues de ces personnes afin qu'ils puissent bien exécuter leur travail. C'est ça le professionnalisme. Donc, comme pensée, on nous dit toujours en termes de suivi des avancements et d'exécution. En fait, Tony nous rappelle que le mot exécution vient effectivement de l'aspect suivi des avancements dans une activité. Et il prend l'exemple des Romains. Ça, c'est l'histoire pour dire, quand vous mettez en place des actions, il faut les suivre de façon très méticuleuse. Donc, on a aussi parlé de tout ce qu'il y a comme plan d'action. Le qui, le quand et le comment. C'est des activités que vous devez avoir en mémoire. Toujours suivre les activités que vous mettez en place. Étape par étape, définir les responsabilités, mettre en place des chronogrammes et surtout avoir des rapports d'avancement des activités qui ont été mises en place. Et Tony donne aussi quelques astuces pour les réseaux sociaux et pour la prise de contact. Généralement, quand vous rencontrez des gens, vous pouvez leur envoyer rapidement un email après, vous pouvez les suivre sur LinkedIn, vous pouvez créer des connexions avec eux, leur rappeler, leur souhaiter bon anniversaire sur les réseaux sociaux. Bref, il y a un ensemble d'actions que vous devez faire afin de nourrir et d'enrichir votre base de données. Surtout, ne pas oublier, lorsque vous faites une nouvelle rencontre, d'aller Google son nom, donc de taper sur Google pour avoir des informations sur la personne. C'est toujours important. Vous connectez sur LinkedIn parce que c'est un média social professionnel et surtout, suivre les personnes sur les réseaux sociaux. On vous l'a recommandé. Vous devez suivre le site, par exemple, les réseaux sociaux, la fondation sur les réseaux sociaux, sur YouTube et ainsi de suite, et régulièrement envoyer des mails à des personnes importantes quand vous les rencontrez afin de pouvoir bâtir votre base de données. Et pour finir, nous disons ceci, il est important d'avoir une très bonne base de données parce que c'est une mine. Donc, les amis, soyez concentrés. Over to you, Nadia.
Thanks, Foko. Ok, nós agora vamos falar da próxima lição, que é o acompanhamento e o profissionalismo. O que quer dizer com esse acompanhamento aqui? Basicamente, o Sr. Tony diz que a habilidade de poder acompanhar qualquer assunto é o que vai definir o sucesso, às vezes, de muitas empresas, ok? E o profissionalismo, que é basicamente a conduta, o objetivo, a qualidade que caracteriza ou marca, seja um profissional ou uma empresa. Então, o que é recomendado pelo Sr. Tony é que sempre que vocês tenham a oportunidade de ter, por exemplo, um contato com alguém, seja numa reunião, seja um encontro casual, num evento, que de seguida vocês têm que fazer um acompanhamento. Como? No mínimo 48 horas depois de terem esse encontro, mandam um e-mail a agradecer a pessoa. Pode ser algo simples, agradecer por ter conhecido e por aí. Isso é para estabelecer a ligação, para criar a network, para criar essa rede de contato que é importante. É importante também você dar a entender aos seus clientes, seus fornecedores, que eles são importantes para ti. Como, de vez em quando, mandar um e-mail de agradecimento, um e-mail nas épocas festivas, coisas do gênero, que mostra a atenção e solidifica a relação, a boa relação que é fundamental para o crescimento do vosso negócio. Nós sempre precisamos de alguém. Então, é preciso lembrarem também que o contato, a rede de contato é uma mina, pode servir como uma mina de ouro. Então, o Sr. Tony diz aqui que nós devemos construir uma base de dados que sirvam como uma mina para nós, porque realmente serve se você tiver este cuidado. E o profissionalismo, de novo, é tentar sempre ser profissional, não confundir as coisas. Alguém que você conhece da forma profissional não é necessariamente seu amigo, saiba como dirigir a pessoa, saiba como manter as coisas totalmente profissionais, porque a forma como a pessoa se apercebe de si pode afetar o seu negócio, ok? Essas são as lições deste ponto. Levem-na convosco. Tá? Obrigada. Madame Angela, over to you.
Thank you very much, Foucault and Nadia. So moving on to the next set of business values, foresight and genius of and. So Thierry says, ability to see beyond today is critical for success. Think long-term as entrepreneurs. Forgo some short-term gains. Visualize yourself in the long term. Long-term. What is long-term? A series of short-term goals. So again, I go back to the participant the entrepreneur who came up with the idea of 5 years, he wants to expand to the international market. So that's a long-term goal. In 5 years, you want to be in the international market. But long-term theory says is a series of short-term goals. So theory says, but you've done well because theory says, think long-term. But think milestones. As you achieve milestones, it spurs you on to achieving the next milestone. So that's very key for executing your plan. He goes on to say, as a child, and this is all about foresight, he says, as a child, as a student, as a young professional, and now as an entrepreneur, Africa has always been the center of my dreams, my aspirations, and my prayers. You know, during the STB days, this was what Thierry said to the team. He says, we are going to write a generational statement. As today we may appear young and the people may not believe in us, we are going to compel them to believe in us through our achievement. Then this is one of, this is a signature quote from Thierry that resulted in people saying he has the gift of foresight. And this is it. It says, it is our belief that in 5 years' time, the industry will begin to consolidate and large foreign institutions will start taking steps towards penetrating the Nigerian market. Our objective is to ensure that we build an institution that can play a leading role in that consolidation process. Thierry made this made this remark in June 1998 at a money market association event, June 1998. The industry, the banking industry, actually began to consolidate in 2005. So this is the gift of foresight, you know, playing out. Thierry's gift of foresight playing out. And in the book, Insights, A Power Vision, Insights on Tony Elumelu, Professor Michael Porter, who we all know as a professor for strategy, who's also the founding patron of the Tony Elumelu Foundation. This is what he had to say in the book. He says, in 2004, Tony and I, so The Power of Vision was a book that was an epilogue, not an epilogue, a compilation of stories, of short stories about Thierry that was written in 2010 when Thierry left UBA as CEO. And in that book, there were various people from Thierry's professional life that contributed to the book. And Michael Porter was one. And this is what he wrote. He said, in 2004, Tony and I talked about the creation of a competitiveness institute in Africa to develop young African business leaders. The Tony Elumelu Foundation, with a focus on building business leadership in Africa, has made this vision a reality. So we can see that the whole entrepreneurship program and all that the Tony Elumelu Foundation is doing, you know, he had this vision way back in 2004, almost 20 years ago. So, you know, having foresight, having vision, long-term vision is so important. So what is foresight? And foresight is the ability to predict what will happen or be needed in the future. So ability to predict or plan for the future is often termed vision in management. And this is what Wikipedia says. Foresight is about seeing ahead, knowing in advance, knowing before, you know, it's a combination of before and sight. So that's what foresight is all about. Thierry says, in the world we live in, we are faced with, and this is the next business value, which is the genius of Anne. So I finished on foresight, and this is the example. This is the next business value, which is the genius of Anne. It says, in the world we live in, we are faced with choices, A or B. In business, we are constantly faced with strategic choices. Success in business is the ability to make the right choices. So as you begin to articulate your business plan, as you come up with your business plan, as you come up with the who does what and when, as you come up with your strategy, as you know, you've set your goals, you'll be faced with choices. And what Thierry is saying is, in the world we live in, we are usually faced with the choice of A or B. But he goes on to say, he says, I believe you can make the best of two opposing situations. So we all know that strategy is about choices. You have, you know, choosing A or B. It says he believes you can make the best of two opposing situations. For instance, the world over, you are told you cannot merge and grow. You cannot merge and in two institutions and then grow at the same time. He says, we had a double strike approach after the merger in 2005. We did the merger and started to grow at the same time. We did two things that were supposed to be opposing at the same time. So when the STB-UBA merger took place in 2005, that's when UBA, the merged entity, began on its Africa expansion. Today, UBA is in 20 African countries. So, you know, the strategy consultants had said, you can't merge and grow, but UBA did just that. So UBA didn't, under Thierry's leadership as CEO, it didn't say to itself, we will only merge, consolidate our merger, focus on the merger, focus on the merged entity, and then maybe grow later. UBA did both. It says we had a double strike approach after the merger. So, and you know, we all know the genius of Anne comes from the book Built to Last. And it's based on, you know, this is Jim Collins' book. I don't know how many people have read it, and you can tell me that when we get some feedback later. And it focused on 6, you know, visionary companies, which had 6 timeless fundamentals that stood the test of time. And one of the timeless fundamentals for these visionary companies was the genius of and this is how it was described in the book. So it says, embrace the genius of and. Visionary companies embrace both ends of the continuum: continuity and change, conservatism and progressiveness, stability and revolution, predictability and chaos, heritage and renewal, fundamentals and craziness, and. So it's the whole idea of doing both, not either or. It talks about the tyranny of or, the genius of and. So, and that's what Theo is telling us to embrace in executing our strategy. Embrace the genius of and. Embrace, don't say it's either A or B when you're making your strategic choice. You could do both, is what he's saying. And he used the example of them merging STB and UBA and also embarking on the UBA expansion to the rest of Africa. So, this is some food for thought. A person who sees a problem is a human being. A person who finds a solution is visionary. And the person who goes out and does something about it is an entrepreneur. So well done, all you entrepreneurs. So food for thought from Thierry on all this. It says, creation of more jobs, transition from a one-man business to an iconic national institution, to a regional player, then to a global institution. Again, I'm going to speak to the gentleman, the entrepreneur. I don't know if it's a lady or a gentleman. The entrepreneur that talked about expanding to the rest of the world, having, expanding internationally in 5 years. So Theo says, creation of more jobs, transition from a one-man business to an iconic national institution, to a regional player, and then to a global institution. Creating an exit option or mechanism for investors, ability to make returns, pay dividends to early investors, all define success as an entrepreneur in the African context. It is the genius of the and, not the tyranny of the or. Last Sunday, I think it was, Thierry spoke to the lawyers in Nigeria. I think he must have spoken to, I don't know how many that was, and Ibukun can correct me on the number, but he spoke to a lot of lawyers at at the stadium in Abuja. And I took these two quotes from that gathering. It says, when young people have the opportunity to start and grow their own businesses, they create jobs, they boost the economy, and they build a better future for themselves and their families. He went on to say, when entrepreneurs succeed, we succeed as a nation. So as we're building our business plans, as we're defining our goals, also define your goals in terms of creation of jobs. For instance, you may want to say how many jobs you want to create in the first year, et cetera, and define your growth in the context of how Thierry has said it, transit from a one-man business to an iconic national institution. I told you, for instance, that UBA is now in 20 African countries. They're on 3 continents. UBA is the only sub-Saharan bank in the US, in New York. So, these are some of the things that you can set for yourselves as long-term goals. And this picture is of Thierry. I don't know if all of you can see Thierry. Yeah, this is Thierry when he spoke at the Money Market Association of Nigeria. I talked about in 1998, where he talked about the industry will begin to consolidate in 5 years. So this was the occasion where he made that statement. Okay, over to you, Foko and Nadia.
Thank you very much. Donc, les prochaines valeurs d'affaires de Tony que nous allons voir, c'est la prévision et le génie du et. Je dis bien le génie du et. Donc, concernant les prévisions, Tony dit, la capacité de voir au travers d'aujourd'hui est critique pour le succès. Pensez au long terme en tant qu'entrepreneur, surpasser le court terme, visualiser toujours le long terme. Le long terme, c'est une série de courts termes, il ne faut pas l'oublier. Il faut toujours penser au long terme et mettre en place les étapes importantes. Et au fur et à mesure qu'on va réaliser ces étapes, ça va permettre d'atteindre ou bien de passer aux prochaines étapes. Ça, c'est ce que Tony dit en termes de prévision. Et il nous rappelle qu'en tant qu'enfant, en tant qu'étudiant, en tant que jeune professionnel et en tant qu'entrepreneur, il a toujours pensé que son rêve a toujours été centré sur le fait qu'on doit se développer et que l'Afrique est le centre de toute sa pensée. Donc, lui, il pense toujours Afrique, Afrique, Afrique. Il dit, à un moment, il a dit à ces gens, nous allons écrire toute une génération, l'histoire de toute une génération. Et les jeunes d'aujourd'hui doivent croire en eux. C'est ça qui permet qu'on puisse croire et puis mettre en place des objectifs qu'on atteint. Il dit, c'est à nous, c'est à nos croyances dans les années futures que l'industrie peut se consolider. C'est en fait l'image de Frank qu'il vient de traduire. C'est sur cette image-là qu'il avait dit en 1998 que l'industrie doit se consolider et que le marché nigérian sera très ouvert. C'est pour ça qu'il est important de bâtir des institutions qui peuvent permettre de suivre ce processus de consolidation. Donc, c'est quelque chose que Tony a dit en juin 1998. Et comme vous voyez, tout s'est réalisé. Une autre chose de magnifique, c'est qu'en 2004, Tony, c'est tiré de son livre « La puissance de la vision », le livre que Tony a écrit. Il dit en 2004, lors d'une conversation avec Michael Porter, en fait, c'est Michael Porter qui raconte l'histoire. Il dit, il se souvient qu'en 2004, lors d'une conversation avec Tony, Tony lui a dit, je bâtirai une fondation qui sera focalisée sur l'entrepreneuriat en Afrique. Et voilà que cette vision est aujourd'hui une réalité. Ça, c'est un peu l'histoire de la fondation. Puisque là, on est en 2004 et la fondation s'est créée en 2010 pour se matérialiser en 2015. Donc, ça, c'est l'importance des prévisions. OK. Donc, en termes de définition, vous verrez bien que prévision, c'est la jonction de deux mots. Le mot pré, qui veut dire avant, et la vision. Donc, il est important que vous ayez les aptitudes à pouvoir prédire ce qui va se passer. Ça, c'est important pour un entrepreneur. Et c'est ce que dit Wikipédia. Wikipédia dit bien que la prévision, c'est la capacité à prédire le futur. Maintenant, pour ce qui est du génie du « et », qui est contraire à la tyrannie du « ou ». Donc, c'est important. Tony attire l'attention sur une chose, vous devez aimer le « et » au lieu de faire le choix. Il dit, par exemple, dans la vie quotidienne, on dit, généralement, il faut faire un choix entre A ou B. Et généralement aussi, dans les stratégies, on dit, faites un choix. Si vous voulez réussir, il faut faire un choix. Tony lui dit, non, chez moi, ça ne marche pas comme ça là. Chez moi, c'est le « et ». Et même quand c'est des situations opposées, Tony a toujours choisi les deux en même temps. Par exemple, dans l'histoire de Standard, dans l'histoire des deux banques, lorsqu'il a été question, les conseils de Tony lui avaient dit que ça sera difficile de fusionner et de croître. Tony a dit, moi, je vais le faire. Et vous avez vu que Tony a fusionné les deux banques et il y a eu croissance. Donc, c'est ce qui est miraculeux. C'est ce que Tony veut partager avec nous. Le génie du « et ». Et ce génie du « et » vient du livre Construit pour la pérennisation, Construit pour durer, de James Collins. Et Tony nous recommande ici d'embrasser le génie du « et ». Et pour cela, il donne six règles fondamentales et il partage quelques avis là-dessus. Il dit par exemple, les compagnies où il y a les visionnaires prennent toujours le « et ». Ils prennent la continuité et le changement. Ils prennent la conservation et le progrès. Ils prennent la stabilité et la révolution. Ils prennent la prédicabilité et le chaos. Ils prennent l'héritage et le renouvellement. Donc, c'est-à-dire que Tony met tout ce qui est contraire, il met ensemble et il compose avec le « et », le « et » et le « et ». Bon, c'est un peu bête, mais ça marche. Il dit donc que généralement, les êtres humains voient les problèmes. Et il dit, les visionnaires trouvent des solutions. Mais ce qui est important, c'est que les entrepreneurs passent à l'action et font ce qui va marcher. Et pour finir avec les pensées de Tony, il dit généralement, lorsqu'on est entrepreneur, on crée des emplois. On passe de son propre emploi, de l'auto-emploi, à une entreprise citoyenne reconnue par l'institution nationale, reconnue depuis le plan national, et plus tard même, on impacte la région, voire tout le monde entier. Il dit que tout ça, c'est important. Et c'est important parce qu'il y a le « et ». À un moment même, il faut satisfaire les investisseurs. Il faut payer les dividendes. Il faut que l'entreprise soit une entreprise à succès. Et Tenu dit, tout ça ne peut arriver que si vous mettez le « et », le « et » et le « et ». Enlevez de votre pensée la tyrannie du « ou », c'est pas bien. Faites tout en même temps. Lorsqu'on est jeune, il faut savoir saisir les opportunités pour la croissance, créer des emplois afin de booster l'économie. Et pour finir, Tony nous rappelle que quand une entreprise réussit, c'est la nation qui a gagné. Over to you, Nadia.
Thanks, Foucault. Ok, então a próxima lição fala da previsão e o gênio do I. O que quer dizer isso, previsão? Previsão é basicamente ser capaz de ver as coisas antes de elas acontecerem, ok? É a habilidade de ver para além do hoje, para além deste momento, nos processos críticos. E dessa forma, o que o Sr. Tony diz? Ele diz que nunca se esquecer de que o longo prazo não é nada mais do que uma série de objetivos de curto prazo. Ou seja, se você tem uma visão grande, você tem que estabelecer pequenas metas. Pensa nos termos, pensa nas vossas metas e tenta atingi-las pouco a pouco. E só assim conseguirão atingir a visão grandiosa que tem. Como criança, ou como estudante, como um profissional, como um empreendedor, ele sempre teve a África no centro dos seus pensamentos, dos seus sonhos, nas suas aspirações e nas suas orações. São palavras do Sr. Tony. Ele sempre colocou a África no centro de tudo o que pensou, tudo o que fez na vida. E após ele crescer, tornar-se adulto, por exemplo, em 2004, ele teve uma conversa com o Sr. Michael Porter, e ele, naquele momento, já mencionou que ele queria um dia criar um instituto em África que pudesse olhar pelos jovens africanos, jovens, o futuro de homens de negócios da África. E o que aconteceu? Hoje nós temos até a fundação que nós estamos aqui, que reuniu-nos a todos. Quer dizer, em 2004, ele já teve esse sonho, ele já previu isso, e pensou nisso, e trabalhou nisso. Fez estabeleceu pequenas metas, traçou o seu caminho e chegou até aí. Portanto, essa habilidade de prever o que vai acontecer, o que vai ser visto no futuro, é uma qualidade que o empreendedor deve nutrir em si. Okay? Ser capaz de ver para além do agora e do momento. E, de novo, é preciso entender, eles aqui, é preciso entender que o mundo onde nós vivemos, normalmente há sempre essa adversidade de escolhas, ou o caminho A ou o caminho B. No entanto, nós não temos que sempre decidir. Ele não decide, não pega um ou outro. Não, ele tenta pegar o melhor dos dois. Mesmo quando todas as coisas apontam para o contrário, toda a gente diz que não, você só pode pegar um ou outro, ele não pensa assim, ele acha que você deve pegar o que é melhor dos dois. Isso é quando nós estamos a falar do gênio do I. O que é isso do gênio do I? É ser capaz de dizer, eu tomo o melhor disto e o melhor daquilo, em vez de dizer, eu só tomo o A ou eu só tomo o B. E ele provou isso na sua vida. Quando ele fez, por exemplo, mergiu os dois bancos, nós temos a falar, o banco que fez surgir o que é hoje o UBA, todos aqueles que entendiam dos economistas, enfim, todos disseram que é impossível mergir e crescer. Como é que ele vai fazer uma merge e crescer ao mesmo tempo? Não é possível. Mas o que aconteceu? Aconteceu exatamente o oposto. Os dois bancos mergeram-se e, no fundo, o UBA tornou-se um banco tão forte que hoje é o único banco pan-africano que está presente nos Estados Unidos. É um banco que está em 3 continentes, é um banco que está em cerca de 40 países hoje. Portanto, é porque ele foi capaz de tirar o que é bom de um, mas o que é o bom do outro, a juntar para chegar numa conclusão. E o gênio do I, de onde que ele tirou essa expressão? Essa expressão é de um livro, é baseada no livro do Jim Collins, que diz construir para durar. É uma visão que nós já ouvimos aqui que o Sr. Tony é um leitor voraz, ele viu ali e essa visão ele leva consigo e ele nos pede para abracem o gênio do I, ok? Abraçam na vossa vida. Sempre, em qualquer momento, se vocês tiverem que escolher entre o caminho A e B, não escolham um nem o outro, mas tirem o melhor dos dois caminhos e apliquem na vossa vida, ok? Aqui nós temos umas menções do Sr. Tony que a senhora Ângela disse no domingo passado. O Sr. Tony reuniu com advogados em Abuja, na Nigéria, e nessa conversa, nesse momento que eles estiveram ali, há duas citações que ele fez ali, que ela trouxe aqui para nós, partilhar conosco. Ele diz assim: a criação de mais empregos, a transição de um negócio de um homem para tornar-se um ícone ou uma instituição nacional, regional e até eventualmente global, ok? Criar uma opção para investimentos, a habilidade de gerar dividendos. Tudo isso é o que um empreendedor africano, é o contexto do empreendedor africano, ok? Levem isso convosco. Olha quanta responsabilidade e quanto interessante é ser um empreendedor africano, ok? E outra citação diz que quando pessoas jovens têm a oportunidade de montar o seu negócio, de fazê-lo crescer, de criar empregos, de incentivar a economia, de construir um futuro melhor para ele mesmo e para a sua família, esse é o papel do empreendedor. O empreendedor, quando sucede, não é só ele que está sucedendo, não só ele que tem sucesso. Quando o empreendedor tem sucesso, é toda a nação que tem sucesso. É essa a visão do Sr. Tony. É uma pessoa que sempre teve essa visão. Ele teve a visão de criar uma instituição que olhasse pelos empreendedores africanos. Isso em 2004 e eventualmente implementou. Ele também é uma pessoa que teve a visão. Ele diz há uma foto que foi-nos aqui apresentada, que num evento que o Sr. Tony disse, isso em junho de 98, ele mencionou que a indústria da banca na Nigéria haveria de se consolidar e muitos não acreditaram. Mas em 2005 foi exatamente isso que aconteceu. Portanto, ele é uma pessoa que tem a capacidade de prever as coisas. A previsão do futuro é importante no empreendedor e também é capaz de ser, nós temos que ser capazes de sempre abraçar o gênio do I, ok? Levem isso para a vossa vida. Vocês não têm que fazer uma escolha definitiva, mas têm que escolher o que é bom dos dois mundos, o que é bom das duas fases e a juntar e carregar convosco. Tá? Obrigada. Madam Angela, over to you.
Okay, I think we've taken a lot of content now, so maybe I'll just take, a few minutes to get some feedback from you guys on strategic choices. So who can give examples of some of the A or B that you're faced with and that you had originally thought that you would have to choose one or the other, but now with the insights from TOE on embracing the genius of and, how are you going to look at things differently? So what choices, who wants to give an example of two choices they're faced with and they're going to now embrace the genius of and?
Pourriez-vous nous donner un ou deux exemples de situations stratégiques où vous avez eu à choisir les deux, même si elles étaient contradictoires? Prière de partager avec nous, puis on va partager avec tout le reste. Merci, Nadia.
Thanks, Foucault. Então, agora a senhora Ângela está pedindo quem tem exemplos de situações atualmente no seu negócio, onde pensa que tem que escolher, ou pensava que tinha que escolher entre o A ou o B, mas agora, após essa lição, tudo isso que nós ouvimos, e a recomendação do Sr. Tony, tem a certeza que vai tirar um bocado dos dois mundos para poder prosseguir para frente. Por favor, indicar os vossos exemplos no comentário do YouTube. Obrigada. Beaucoup, over to you.
Hi, Nadia. Hello, Nadia, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes. I'm sure they are still typing the comments. So handing over to you.
Okay, so it's still the same comments from the previous question. Nothing new has come in. So, but once we have new comments, I will notify Madam Angela and I'll just read them out.
Okay,
thank you, ma'am.
Did they not hear the question that I asked about two choices?
It's only
Sorry? Ibuko?
hello, can you hear me, ma'am?
I can hear you
So,
now.
yes, I'm waiting for new comments to come in. They're still typing. So
Okay.
once they drop, I'll notify you and then I'll read out the comments.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's hear. Foko, any comments from you? Nadia, any comments from your side?
Yes, I have a comment. Let me read. It is someone who said, OK, Chantal Feda, j'ai eu à faire le choix entre lancer une entreprise de mes propres ressources ou alors des fonds d'emprunt et après j'ai opté pour les deux. Chantal Feda is saying that she have the choice either create her company herself or using or borrow money from somewhere. Finally, she chose both. Okay, it is the only case I have. Nadia?
Okay.
None in Portuguese so far, none.
Okay. Okay.
So we have, sorry, ma, we have comments now. Some comments just came in now.
Okay, go ahead.
So from Kimang Abel, initially I was going into productions only, but I had an insight that I can go into productions and services. Angel, two strategic choices I was faced with was working as a strategic information officer for an NGO to raise funds for my new business and also managing my business at the same time. Steve Lovett, we do not expect, okay, to choose between my work and my enterprise. Another person, Theodora Smith, starting a snail farm and making profit in the same year. There's another person, Folabi Abiodun. I made the choice of choosing software engineering as a career against working as a banker. Olashukbo Michael. The two decisions I have to make is having to go into arching or raising from fingerlings to table size. On the long run, I have to merge the two to get the result I need. Alabo Emanuela. I recently had a proposal for a strategic alliance where the company wants to buy my powdered tomatoes and sell to Nigeria. But from this lesson, I will be venturing into Nigeria with my products myself. Stewart Stanley. My choice is to make the decision. Okay, so no, this is Abdul Latif. My choice is to make a decision to start my business in Osun State, where I school, or Lagos, where I live, as Lagos has a larger target market than Osun. Then Etienne, my big challenge is that I have to work somewhere for my daily life, but I have to take on my enterprise. It's not easy. Christina Ezekiel, I have the choice of managing my business myself, but with this, I can employ and supervise like minds after employing them. Anita, which is the last one, I'm choosing between working in my dad's company or starting my own business. Thank you, ma'am.
Hey, thank you all for your examples. Let's move on to the next set of business values, which is the last set we're going to be looking at today. So resilience and reverse yourself if you've made the wrong decision. So Thierry says, staying the course, staying power in the face of difficulty, underpinned by strategic vision, long-term vision. That's how he defines resilience. So staying the course, staying power in the face of difficulty, underpinned by strategic vision and long-term vision. It says you have to be disciplined, you have to be resilient, be long-term in your orientation. So, remember, we keep focusing on having long-term goals, So once you have your long-term goals, again, I go back to the gentleman with the 5-year vision. So you have your 5-year goals, you know, and maybe something happens to discourage you in the first year. You have to be resilient, have your long-term orientation, you know, in mind. Okay. So what does the literature say? All about the capacity to recover quickly from difficulty. It's about toughness. The resilience is about the ability to cope with change. It's the goal of resilience is to thrive. So you thrive under difficulty. It's the ability to bounce back. You know, so that's so important. The ability to bounce back from a difficult situation. Then T's quote from the next business value, which is reverse yourself if you made the wrong decision. T says, it takes courage and humility for a business leader to realize he has made a decision that is wrong. If you need to make apologies to stakeholders, apologize and redeem yourself. I think there's strength in leaders who have the discipline to first realize that they have made a mistake, and having realized the mistake, they make the decision to correct it. It takes a lot of strength and character to do so. So, you know, you'll often hear him say he won't be a prisoner to his decision. So if he's made the wrong decision, you know, he reverses himself, and it takes humility to do so. So, you know, we all know. So let's look at some literature on resilience. And it's all about mental toughness, and there are lessons from sports. You know, I mean, I don't know who wants to give me some examples from sports of a display of mental toughness. You see that time and time again when people who are at match point. I love tennis. So you see time and time again where people are at match point and they end up losing because the person who their opponent just hangs in there, you know, bounces back from defeat, you know, and goes on to win the match. So mental toughness is so key as entrepreneurs, being resilient, you know, having the ability to bounce back. That's all very key. So do you guys want to maybe we'll talk about that at the end. So Thierry ends by saying, entrepreneurship is a long-term journey. Dare to dream, implement your dream, and stay focused. Okay, thank you. So this is the end of today's business values, and I'll just hand over to Foko and Nadia to do the translation of the last business values. There's no need for that example that is on the last slide. Just share the business values, and then I'll take feedback from everyone in terms of some difficulties that you're currently facing, and how you're going to change your approach by bouncing back. Over to you, Foko and Nadia.
OK, thank you. Donc, les deux dernières valeurs d'affaires que nous allons partager, c'est la résilience et la capacité à revenir en arrière lorsqu'on a fait une mauvaise décision. OK. Tony nous dit, concernant la résilience, se maintenir dans la course, rester au pouvoir, quelle que soit la difficulté, c'est stratégique. Ça dépend de la vision. C'est une vision stratégique et c'est la vision de long terme. Nous devons être disciplinés et être résilients, penser long en termes d'orientation. Donc, globalement, Tony dit, nos orientations doivent être focus sur le long terme. Donc, comme définition, on va dire la résilience, en fait, c'est la capacité à rapidement se remettre après des difficultés. Donc, et la résilience vient surtout à partir de l'aptitude à absorber le changement. Donc, il y a pas mal de définitions qui viennent de Wikipédia, on ne va pas traîner dessus. Et Tony nous dit, pour ce qui est de l'aspect se remettre lorsqu'on a pris une mauvaise décision, Il dit, ça prend du courage, de l'humilité pour un leader de réaliser qu'il a fait une erreur. Et il dit, il ne faut pas hésiter à demander les excuses à ses parties prenantes et revenir sur sa décision. Il dit, I think there is strange. Il dit, bon, les leaders doivent être très disciplinés. Premièrement, réaliser lorsqu'ils ont fait des erreurs et surtout, revenir sur ces erreurs, changer la décision. C'est toujours important et c'est un caractère fort qu'un décideur et un leader doit avoir. Et il partage aussi quelques valeurs mentales comme la flexibilité, la responsabilisation, la force, le courage dans l'éthique et la résilience. Et on a pris l'exemple des sportifs, ce qu'on appelle souvent la remontada. La remontada, c'est quand vous voyez, que ce soit au tennis ou sur un match de foot, une équipe est en difficulté et elle perd des points ou bien elle est vraiment en difficulté et après, il y a une énergie qui permet de remonter et remonter totalement la pente au point de gagner le match. C'est ça qu'on appelle la remontada. Ça, c'est la résilience. Avoir un mental très fort. Donc, pour finir, il y a cette fameuse phrase de Tony, il dit, l'entrepreneuriat, c'est un voyage de long terme. Il faut croire en ses rêves et surtout passer à l'action en restant focalisé. Over to you, Nadia.
Thanks, Foco. Ok, então, a última lição para hoje, que a senhora já traz-nos, é sobre a resiliência e inverter-se se você cometeu um erro na decisão. Okay? O que é resiliência? É basicamente a capacidade de voltar ao estado normal, ok? Então, o que o senhor Tony nos diz aqui? Ele diz-me que você tem que ser capaz de manter-se em curso, ter o poder de vencer, apesar das dificuldades, manter a tua visão estratégica de longo termo. Quer dizer, há dificuldades que vai surgir pelo caminho, mas a disciplina que o empreendedor deve ter, deve fazer com que ele se mantenha resiliente, porque há muitas quedas por esse caminho, não há dúvidas. Esse é o caminho onde há muitos tropeços, mas a resiliência é que nos leva à frente, ok? Nós temos aqui, foram definidas algumas citações que têm a ver com a resiliência. O que é que ele diz? É a capacidade de recuperar-se rapidamente de uma dificuldade. É a habilidade de se resistir às mudanças. A resiliência é basicamente ser capaz de voltar ao estado inicial. A senhora já deu o exemplo do tênis, diz que é algo que ela gosta, um desporto que ela gosta. Num jogo de tênis, quem acaba por vencer é aquele que é capaz de ser mais resiliente, de vai para frente e para trás, de saltar para frente e para trás com a bola. Aquele que tiver a resiliência é aquele que vence. Então, vocês têm que pensar em vocês mesmos, como ser capaz de ter esse foco, essa determinação no vosso negócio, apesar das dificuldades que hão de surgir. Okay. O segundo ponto, primeiro é a resiliência, o segundo ponto diz que é a capacidade de inverter-se se você cometeu um erro de decisão. Okay. O que é que diz o senhor Tony? Ele diz que precisa ter muita coragem e humildade, okay? E humildade para um líder de negócio ser capaz de reconhecer que esteve errado numa decisão. Okay? A humildade é chave aqui. Porque é difícil, muita gente, por ser chefe, por ser o dono, não gosta de reconhecer que esteve errado, que tomou uma decisão errada, e não é capaz de se humilhar e pedir perdão, e de começa de buscar a paz, buscar o caminho certo, porque reconheceu o seu erro. Então, é preciso ter muita força. Um líder de verdade tem que ter muita força e também muita disciplina, para ele dar conta, primeiramente, de que ele cometeu um erro, e depois de dar conta que cometeu o erro, tomar a decisão de corrigir esse erro. Okay? O senhor Tony diz aqui que isso exige muita força e caráter. Okay? Mas é algo que ele recomenda-nos como empreendedores, a ter essa habilidade de ser humildes o suficientes, de reconhecer quando nós estamos errados, para aí depois corrigirmos e tomarmos a decisão certa. Porque é normal, o errar é humano, ok? Então, é preciso ter ter uma mentalidade rígida, uma mentalidade forte para ser capaz de ser flexível, quer dizer, absorver o inesperado, ser capaz de responder, quer dizer, manter-se engajado e conectado com tudo que está à volta, mesmo com a pressão. Mesmo com a pressão, eu ainda tenho que saber ser capaz de dirigir o meu negócio, ok? Tem que ser forte, tem que ser capaz de resistir às pressões e às coisas, as dificuldades que surgem pelo caminho. Tem que ter coragem e ter ética, ok? Para tomar as decisões mais certas e não as decisões mais adequadas, ou porque tem medo ou porque quer encontrar o caminho mais fácil. E também tem que ser capaz de ser resiliente, ou seja, ser capaz de voltar atrás quando a dificuldade leva-o para trás, voltar ao seu lugar inicial. Okay? Então, aqui, esta frase que é nos recomendada para levarmos hoje, ele diz? Que diz que empreendedorismo é um caminho, é um longo caminho, uma longa jornada. Ok? Atreve-te a sonhar, atreve-te a implementar o teu sonho, mas mantenha-te foco, mantenha-te certo, seguro daquilo que você quer, ok? Nunca se esqueça. Obrigada. Não se esqueçam de preencher a lista de presença. Madam Angela, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. So let's hear some examples of some tough situations you guys have been in to end today's session, and how you've bounced back. Examples of mental toughness and bouncing back, resilience, because you're going to need that as you execute your plans.
Oui, essayez de partager avec nous des situations où vous avez été résilient ou bien vous avez fait un retour arrière par rapport à une décision qui a été prise. Partagez et puis nous allons lire. Merci. Nadia.
Thanks, Foucault. Então, nós queremos ver agora exemplos de situações difíceis que vocês têm enfrentado, a quais vocês tiveram que ser resilientes, vocês tiveram que fazer ou que ele voltar atrás e ao vosso ponto de partida. Exemplos, por favor, nos comentários. Obrigada.
Ebuku, any examples?
There are no examples yet. It's just the same comments from the last question you asked, and they haven't dropped any new comments.
Okay. So maybe we can just take any feedback, any questions from anything we've talked about today, anything.
Okay, so Irene is saying it's a wonderful training. Jean is saying this session was interesting to every entrepreneur. Thanks, Madam Angela. Malope says resilience, patience, the willpower, and not comparing yourself with others. Safari says entrepreneurs must be resilient, never give up, as they say. Then we have another comment. Well done, Madam Angela. Thank you, TF and Madam Angela, for an amazing opportunity. Agatha says, through our achievements, they will believe in us. There's another comment. Thank you, TF, for an amazing session. Thank you very much, Madam Angela. God bless you. Thank you, Madam, for encouraging us. We really appreciate the session. Another one is, this has been a knowledge-packed session from Jeanette. Someone else is saying, thank you for the session again, Madam Angela. Thank you, Madam Angela, for the session.
I think we should thank TOE. I think we should thank TOE for these business values and the opportunity to be able to share his business values, his quotes, etc. So we should really thank him for being a role model. Yeah.
Yes. Then Elvis Uzodima, this is the biggest platform in Africa. Thank you, TF, for this opportunity. Thank you, TF. Thank you, Madam Angela. Thank you so much for this session. I have learned beyond what I imagined resilience to be. After many failed attempts, I kept trying until I got myself stable. And this masterclass has added much more experience. Jude, we went on a COVID lockdown for 1 month after we launched, had to devise another strategy to generate alternate revenue to sustain operations after we kicked off in November again. Emmanuel Ajibola says, mental strength has helped me to fall forward in my agri business, irrespective of mockery, where some people in my neighborhood have staying, an architect diving into poultry. Frederick says, I failed so many times, but I guess I did because I ventured into business without proper knowledge. Now I know better. No quitting has always been my motto. Thanks for this session. Then when I was faced with a tough situation, I let the end be a motivation to continue. Thank you very much again, Madam Angela. This session has been fruitful. Thank you for all the sessions. Thank you to the TEF family. Thank you, TEF. Thank you, Madam Angela, for the Toe Way Masterclass. So it's just them comments. The session has been impactful.
Thank God.
Saying thank you, thank you, thank you.
I like the no quitting. I like the no quitting.
Yes.
No quitting. So when nobody's going to quit, everybody's going to be resilient and bounce back from difficulty. Okay.
So there's a comment from someone here, very interesting comment. Lizzie.
Okay.
Toe Way Master.
Sorry.
Toe Way. Okay, no problem. So she said it's from Lizzie. So she said Toe Way Masterclass should be a university course.
Okay. I guess you've taken that feedback.
Yes, I have some comment from Hermine Egli. J'étais fonctionnaire pendant des années et j'étais passionné par l'entrepreneuriat, surtout dans le domaine capillaire. Donc, j'ai dû démissionner pour faire la formation et monter ma propre entreprise. She was civil servant and she left her job to open her own company. I also have this guy, par exemple, it is Kenya Kasai. Par exemple, j'ai échoué en 2020 quand j'ai commencé et c'était dû par manque de fonds, par mon indisponibilité. J'étais obligé de résilier là où je travaillais, de démissionner là où je travaillais afin de me focaliser. Donc, he said that he was working somewhere and he failed his business because he doesn't have time for his company. Finally, she resigned from her job and now she is focused on the business. Another person said that he lost 80% of his crops or his product, but the company is still alive. Donc, quelqu'un a perdu 80% de sa production et la compagnie a continué d'exister. Donc, voilà des exemples de résilience. Okay, it's okay. Over to you, Nadia.
Thanks, Foko. No comments in Portuguese. I'm reading here. No.
Okay, so just to thank everyone. And again, like I said, to thank TOE for these business values, which have been codified and shared with everyone and which we all continue to learn from so that we can achieve, the successes that we've set out to do in our business plans, etc. So look forward to seeing everyone on Thursday. And I really enjoyed your feedback. Very, very, I like the recap at the beginning and all the examples that everyone provides. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Ma. Thank you, entrepreneurs. Thank you for staying throughout the session. I know that you guys have learned a lot from the comments we're saying. So have an amazing day and see you on Thursday. Thank you. Bye.
Bye et rendez-vous jeudi.
Obrigada a todos. Não esquecer de assinar a lista de presença.